Hi, what's up YouTube? We're here with
Joe Andrews.
And you're playing?
Geargia, Karakuri.
And you top 32 YCS Toronto?
I went top 32 YCS Toronto, I went X1. X1 on day 1, and I won round 9 and 10 on day 2.
Sounds
definitely
good.
A really awesome deck. It was a fun deck, and the format itself is really awesome. It's fun. So
let's get straight into it.
Alright, so we have a deck. The deck itself, main deck, plays 3 Geargia armor. Whenever you slow face up, you add a Geargia monster from your deck to your hand. So you usually go with one of these guys, but sometimes you go with one of these guys. This guy is the Geargia Lonefire Blossom. You tribute him, and you special summon a Geargia monster from your deck.
Okay.
And you play 3 of them as well. And then this guy is, whenever you control a Geargia monster, you can special summon him. And whenever he's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add a Geargia monster, so one of these 2, from your graveyard to your hand. And it can miss timing, so if they like torrential it or something as a chain link 2 or higher, and this is not the last thing to go to the grave, it'll miss timing. You play 3 of each.
Okay.
You play 2 copies of Jinx Alley Birdman. There is a combo where you basically put Beret, or Stardust Dragon on the field. It doesn't work as well because it's been ruled just like the other monsters like this guy, so what you would basically do is, you can't keep going face up, face down, face up, face down, face up, face down. Once he's flipped face down, you can only do it once per turn, but every time he is flipped face up, you do get his effect to search back to hand. So what you'll do is you'd be like, summon this guy, bounce him to hand for Birdman, and special summon.
Okay.
And then put him face down with his effect, and then you sync for Beret, and then what you'd do is, you would go into a Strategist. Strategist will activate, you can flip him face up and search for another one of these guys, you special summon it out. And if you keep, like, the way I've been playing this deck basically is it plays it like a grinding match. I'm constantly generating pluses. So my hand is going to be filled with these guys. So I don't really have to do it as a big one-turn combo. I can do it basically throughout the game and have those in hand. So then at this point you have more of these in hand, you would special summon another one, and you could sync for another Beret with this guy, and then you go into one of the 2 Watchdogs. And the Watchdogs will let you go into a Burrito and then eventually into a Stardust Dragon or Scrap Dragon. Usually, if you know they play Gores, or they have like no back row to work with, you usually go into Stardust Dragon so you can protect your field.
Okay.
Then additionally, you could actually go into Scrap Dragon and pop whatever they have out and then go for game right there. So it's really awesome. You don't need Birdman to do it. This deck does not use its normal summon very often, so you can use it on one of these guys and still go off, but you'll get like 1 less synchro than normal.
Alright.
I also played 3 Snowman Eater. Snowman Eater was MVP of the weekend. The card is absolutely incredible, and it stops Thunder King, it stops Heroes, you can't spark it in the damage step, and it's just an amazing card that in itself is just, you set it, and if they know you're playing Snowman Eater, they will not attack it.
And it might be something else.
I stalled in, I think it was game around 5. I stalled him out with having a set Sengen, and he thought it was a Snowman Eater, so he put a Thunder King out for like 5 or 6 turns.
Oh.
And it stalled him out. And then obviously at this point I play the Tour Guide engine. A lot of people are actually not playing the Tour Guide engine in this. I'm only playing it because Tour Guide is just Tour Guide. It is an amazing card. And it is a good out to Thunder King. What you can do is you could summon it and go for another one, and then go into your rank 3 Exceed. Usually I go into Zen Mains to force their Thunder King, and then I'll flip my armor that's face down, because now Thunder King's gone. So, and like I said, I don't need my normal summon, so this card was just an auto input. It's so good. And then in addition, you could like, if you go Tour Guide into Sengen, you just leave it out. Obviously you could search for Geargia armor with this guy. And when you play Avarice, this deck fills its graveyard really quickly once you go off. So Avarice is like ridiculous in this deck. And then the spells, the 1-ups, Dark Hole, Heavy, Reborn, Pot of Avarice, and deck like this is great. Limit removal. I didn't usually go for game with limit removal. I used it to get over Thunder Kings. I'll summon Arsenal and I'll limiter it and attack over a Thunder King. Deal some pretty good damage. Okay. And then main phase 2 I'll tribute off for an armor. It was amazing. And then obviously 3 Typhoon. Typhoon, you have to play 3 Typhoon in this format in every single deck to play because it's so good.
Yep.
It's just that good. You have to stop your gates, you have to stop your opponent from playing Wind Up Factory. The traps is the Psalms. Double Trap Stun. Trap Stun was really good, and I major props to Diabolito for telling me about this, because I was originally playing 2 Starlight Roads in this deck, and it was working really well. I had no problem going off, but this card was awesome because I didn't have to protect a Starlight Road, but I only used it for helping myself go off. This card is just, I mean, it stops so many things. Like, it stops Torrential Tributes, being chained, it's amazing.
Yeah.
2 Mirror Force, awesome card this format. Yesterday, this card was incredible. People think that you're not playing it because it wasn't played at 1, it's not going to be played at 2. In a slow format like this, when the wind-up builds up a huge field, they don't have an answer to this outside of Shockmaster. And I don't think not many people actually went into Shockmaster this weekend. So this card was really good against them. Double Bottomless against obviously Thunder Kings, double Torrentials, same thing, and then triple Deep Prison.
How was the triple Deep Prison?
Triple Deep Prison was fantastic. I originally played 2. I made up to 3 because it's just such a great card. It stops Sanguine, Thunder King, all those attacking monsters. It's just a 1-for-1 that it banishes it. It's fantastic.
Right.
And that was the main deck. 42 cards total. I did not want to draw my Karakuri tuners, so I made it 42.
Yep.
And I didn't have an issue getting any kind of combo pieces. Everything searches for itself. The extra deck was Burrito, just 1, 2 Beret, Stardust Dragon, Scrap Dragon, Ancient Fairy Dragon, Black Rose Dragon, good against Dark World and Necrovalley, Gravekeepers.
Yep.
Gaia Knight, because I needed a level 6, because if I do have Strategist in hand for whatever reason, I have Snowman on the field, I need a way to get that Snowman off the field, and he is an Earth monster, so if I do have, obviously I side goes in matches, I can still go off and do my stuff. The Exceeds was Zemmanes, Leviathan, Levier, and Tempo, and those are the only rank 3 Exceeds that I played. I did not play Acid Golem, I didn't need it, because mostly Tour Guide is just an out to Thunder King or searching for Sengen, so it was out to different situations. I went into each and every one of these, and Levier was actually really awesome because they would constantly bottomless my arsenal. Okay. So I would go into Tour Guide Levier, bring out Arsenal, and go for game, right on the spot. Utopia and Roach. Roach is good because every time I come to Toronto, I always play Light Swan, all the time. I went to a Toronto regional last January when Wind Up first came out. I played, out of 8 rounds, I played 5 Lightsworn decks.
Oh, man.
It was ridiculous. It was crazy. And then the last card is obviously 1 copy of Geargia decks, their Exceed. I went into him 4 times this weekend, and I only went into him to get Birdman into my hand. So, and that was means that I had to use an Accelerator and an Arsenal to do it. So I hated going into him, but I had to sometimes. Yeah, it just, you have to do it to get your combo pieces. And that's the deck, extra deck. And the side deck was actually really cool. I played 3 copies of Gozen Match. All my guys are Earth. Wind Up plays a bunch of different shit.
Yeah.
So this thing was amazing. It basically acts like in games 2 and 3 against Wind Up, it acts like playing 3 additional copies of Torrential Tribute. Because I'll let them build their field up, and then I'll activate Gozen Match, and they'll be like, oh crap, out of no way. Now I have to send basically half my field to the graveyard, and I can't exceed, they can't they can't go into anything.
Because they're water.
Because it's like water. They would have to like shark, both sharks level 3, go into Zenmaity, go for 3rd shark. You're not gonna do that. Or you can go in Acid Golem, but I mean, you get the idea.
Yeah.
It's really awesome. Great card this format. 2 Gnome and a Crossout. Crossout is good against Geargia, and it is good against Gravekeeper. And I was expecting Gravekeeper to be a really big deck this weekend because it does have a really good wind-up matchup.
Okay.
But it was not. I did not play very many. I actually sided this in against Dark World because in round 8 my opponent sided in Rykos. So I sided out my warnings. I sided out stuff that would be terrible against Dark World, and I sided these in because, okay, so obviously he's setting Morphine Jar or Ryko, and that's going to take care of my stuff, but it's something that I don't, like, I could take something out and put it back in to work with Dark World. Yeah. 2 copies of Forbidden Lance. This deck's worst matchup is Heroes, hands down. You against a good player, they're going to be Genomite Sparking your armors, so it's like you need these cards. You need Lance to stop Genomite Spark from being a 2 for, like an extra +1 for them.
Okay.
3 Decree. Obvious against Final Countdown, Chainburn, Trap Heavy decks.
How many Chainburn did you play?
I played 0 Chainburn. Okay. I think I played Dino Rabbit, or Heroes, Dino Rabbit, Blackwing, Heroes, Geargia, Plants, and then Dark World. And then day 2 I played some wind-up Rabbit deck. And then round 10 I played Dan Lamartita Heroes. Okay. So, and seriously, Heroes is this deck's worst matchup. Yeah. The only reason I actually lost round 5 was because he had a Super Poly and he had Book of Moon. So basically he had the out to what I had. Other than that, it was a close game either way. 3 copies of Macrocosmos against Dark World and Plants. This, again, like, against Plants, these 6 cards alone basically win me the game right there. It's just so good against Plants. 2 Kinetic Soldier, Kinetic Soldier is good against heroes, and it's good against Samurai.
There's a lot of samurai today.
A lot of Samurai today, which is interesting because I don't think the deck's that great. This thing was awesome because they have to it forces them to Gemini Spark it.
Yeah.
Their Shinings can't even get over him. You can't. And it's just, if they attack a Neo Stelios to the face down, they're taking 2k to the face.
Yeah.
So it's really awesome. Great card. But that was the deck. The deck performed extremely well. It was just no bad hands, really, at all. Occasionally I was stormed, but it happened when they were going for game, basically, and it happened against Windup in top 32. He had Storm and Factory and Tour Guide and all that fun stuff. So I was like, all right. But other than that, the deck played really well, and I really enjoyed it. This format is amazing. Don't let anyone tell you different. The format is fantastic. Konami did a great job with this format.
Yeah.
Windup is still derpy, but you have ways of taking care of it.
That's true.
If they can put enough presence on the field. Usually it could be for game, not always for game. So whenever don't immediately scoop when they play Windup, because if I did that, I would have lost top 32 one turn sooner, and if I had drawn a Typhoon off that last draw, I would have been back in the game. Because I could have Typhoon just Decree, my Goes the match would have been back on.
Okay.
So, other than that, that was the deck. Great deck. And it was an awesome weekend.
If there's one thing you could change about the deck, what would you do?
I would cut the Roach, and I would probably put in, I would say the Photon Butterfly dude. I don't know. If it's Papilloperative, whatever you want to call it. Butterfly dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was about it. The deck, other than that, played really well. Actually, I'm sorry. I would actually also cut Trapstone. It was really good this weekend, but I think that I could rather play Compulse over it.
Okay.
Because Compulse, I played Billy Break round 6, and Compulse was really great against what I was playing.
Did you beat Billy Break?
I did beat Billy Break. I won the die roll, and that's what you had to do when you win with a Geargia mirror match.
Oh man.
So, other than that, any other questions?
All right. Thanks.
Awesome. See ya.